All right, ready to dive into this IELTS speaking mock test? Straight from IELTS speaking mock test practice.
Yep, think of it like a little warm-up before the big game.
Exactly, getting those nerves out of the way. So picture this. You're sitting there in the exam room, and the examiner says,
Good morning. My name is examiner's name.
easy enough, right?
Can you tell me your full name, please?
Your turn.
My name is your full name.
Perfect. Short, sweet, and to the point. What's next?
Thank you. Can I see your identification, please?
Don't forget that ID.
Here you are.
Okay, so you've shown your ID, and now it's time for the first part.
Thank you. Now, in the first part of the test, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. Let's talk about shopping. Do you enjoy shopping?
What would you say?
Yes, I do enjoy shopping. It's a great way for me to relax, unwind, especially after a long week.
I can definitely relate to that. Retail therapy, right?
I particularly enjoy browsing for clothes and trying on new styles. I find it quite therapeutic.
Yeah, it can be like a little escape.
Do you prefer shopping in stores or online?
What do you think? Online or in person?
Well, both have their pros and cons. Online shopping is super convenient, of course. You can just browse at home and have things delivered right to your doorstep. But if I'm being honest, I still prefer going to actual stores.
Yeah, there's something about being able to see things in person.
Exactly. I like being able to see and touch the items before I buy them. Plus, trying things on and getting a better sense of how they look and feel.
That makes sense. And sometimes it's just nice to get out of the house, right?
Absolutely. There's also something about that whole atmosphere of a bustling shopping street that I just find enjoyable. It feels like a social experience.
I agree. Okay, so you've nailed that question. What's next?
Now let's move on to another topic. Do you have a favorite shop?
Oh, I bet you do.
Yes, there's this cute little bookstore near my apartment that I absolutely love.
A bookstore, how lovely. I can already imagine it.
Oh, and why is that?
Tell us more.
Well, it's more than just a bookstore, really. It's like a haven for book lovers. It has this cozy, inviting atmosphere with comfy armchairs scattered around and the smell of coffee brewing in the corner.
Sounds like heaven.
They have an incredible selection of books, too, everything from classic literature to contemporary fiction. And the staff are so knowledgeable, always happy to help you find exactly what you're looking for.
I love that, the personal touch.
It's one of those places where you can easily lose track of time just browsing the shelves and getting lost in the world of books.
I can see why it's your favorite. You've described it beautifully. Now, shifting gears a bit.
Now let's talk a little bit about your work or studies. What do you do?
The classic work question.
I'm currently working as a software engineer at a tech startup.
Very cool. What kind of startup?
We focus on developing mobile applications for education. It's a fast-paced environment, but I find it incredibly rewarding to be part of a team that's creating innovative tools for learning.
That sounds really fulfilling. I bet it keeps you on your toes.
Do you enjoy your work?
What do you say to that?
Yes, I enjoy it a lot. As I said, I find it very rewarding to be developing educational apps. It's definitely challenging at times, but that's part of what keeps me motivated.
Challenges can be good. What else do you love about it?
I really enjoy the collaborative nature of my work. Plus, it's gratifying to know that what we're doing is making a positive impact on students.
That's fantastic. You've given a really clear and engaging answer there. All right, moving on to part 2, the long turn. It's story time.
You'll get a task card, a pen, some paper.
1 minute to gather your thoughts. Then you have it to 2 minutes to speak. Like a mini presentation.
Exactly. So for this mock test,
Drum roll, please.
describe a place you have recently visited that you found interesting.
Ooh, that's a good one. Lots of possibilities there.
You can jot down some notes if you want. You've got 1 minute.
Time's up. Pencil down. What did you pick?
Okay, you can start speaking now.
All right, time to shine.
I recently had the chance to visit the Natural History Museum in London. It's a place I've been fascinated by since I was a kid.
The Natural History Museum. Classic. What was it like?
The building itself is amazing, really grand halls and all these intricate Victorian details.
I can picture it.
But the best part was definitely the exhibits inside. I walked through these huge halls filled with dinosaur skeletons. It was incredible.
Wow, dinosaurs.
Yeah, just thinking about them roaming the earth millions of years ago. It's mind-blowing.
It really puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
For sure. They had an amazing collection of fossils, too. Everything from ancient sea creatures to prehistoric plants. You could really see how life on Earth has evolved over time.
That's fascinating. Did anything else stand out?
Oh, yeah. The wildlife dioramas were really cool. They recreated different ecosystems, and they were so realistic.
I love those. They really transport you to another place.
Exactly. I felt like I was actually in the African savanna watching lions hunt, and then I'd be in the Amazon rainforest surrounded by all these colorful birds.
It's like stepping into a different world.
And it's not just about looking at things. The museum does a great job of teaching you about the natural world. I spent ages reading all the information panels, learning about how everything is connected.
That's what I love about museums. They're so educational.
Right. It's one thing to read about stuff online, but being there in person, seeing it all firsthand, it makes it so much more real.
Absolutely. Did anything else make an impression on you?
I was really impressed with their focus on conservation. They had exhibits dedicated to climate change, biodiversity loss, all the big issues facing our planet.
That's so important.
Yeah, it really made me think about how we can all do our part to protect the environment.
Leaving you with a sense of responsibility.
Definitely. By the time I left the museum, I just felt this renewed sense of wonder about the natural world. It was a really enriching experience, one I won't forget.
You've painted a really vivid picture. Sounds like a fantastic visit.
Thank you.
I bet the examiner was impressed. Now, shifting gears slightly.
Now, let's talk about museums in general.
Okay, broader perspective now.
Yeah.
All right, time for part 3, the discussion section. Get those thinking caps on.
This is where the examiner really wants to see you dig deep into a topic.
Exactly. Expressing your opinions, giving reasons, and even speculating a little bit. It's a chance to show off those critical thinking skills.
Yep. So, following on from our museum chat,
They might ask you something like this.
some people believe that museums are becoming less relevant in the digital age. What do you think?
Interesting question. It's a bit of a debate, right?
Well, I think there's definitely some truth to it. I mean, we have so much information available online now, and virtual tours are getting more and more sophisticated.
Yeah, you can explore museums from your couch.
Exactly. But even with all that, I still think museums have something really unique to offer. Like what? Why do you think they're still important? Well, there's something special about seeing historical artifacts up close. Actually being in the presence of something from the past, it's a totally different experience than just seeing it on a screen.
Yeah, I get that tangible connection.
Right. And museums do a great job of providing context and depth. They tell stories and connect things in a way that you might not get just by browsing online.
It's curated knowledge put together by experts.
Exactly. And don't forget about the social aspect. Museums are places where people can come together, share ideas, have conversations.
They foster a sense of community almost.
Yeah, for sure. So while the digital age has definitely changed things, I don't think it makes museums any less important. They just offer something different, something you can't really replicate online.
I think you've made a really strong argument there. What do you think museums could do to stay relevant in the future, though?
That's a good question. I think they need to keep adapting, embracing technology.
Like what kind of things?
Well, interactive exhibits are a great example. And augmented reality experiences, using tech to enhance the visit. Even personalized tours could be a thing.
So making it a more engaging experience.
Definitely. And finding ways to connect with younger audiences, maybe incorporating social media, things like that.
Yeah, meeting people where they are.
Right. And I think it's also important for museums to tell stories that resonate with people today, connecting the past to the present, addressing contemporary issues.
Keeping it relevant to what's going on in the world.
Exactly, making those connections.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Any final thoughts on how museums can stay vibrant and exciting places?
I think it's all about finding that balance, embracing technology, staying relevant, but also preserving what makes museums so special, that sense of wonder, that connection to the past.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. It's about evolving without losing sight of what makes museums unique. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the IELTS Speaking Mock Test. We've covered all 3 parts, from the initial introduction to the long term and the final discussion. Hopefully you feel more confident and prepared now, knowing what to expect. Remember, practice makes perfect. So keep practicing, find your voice, and let your personality shine.